Yes. So we have been trying to make our understanding about Jainism, and so far what we have learned is about five pramishtis and them being nothing but the different paryas, the different forms that a soul takes, the possibilities that soul can reach to, the heights that the soul can reach to. And for that, we tried making understanding about these six substances that make our cosmos, the present day universe that we have. So according to Jain philosophy, we have six substances: Jeev, Pudgal, Dharma, Adharma, Akash, and Kal. Right? I hope we all have memorized these six names because these are very crucial while we're talking about the Jain philosophy. Jeev is the knower. Pudgal is the matter that can be seen, touched, smelled, or tasted. Dharmastika is the medium of motion, Adharmastika is the medium of rest, Akash is the space where everything dwells, and Kal is the time, which is letting us transform every moment. So these are the six substances. And then these six substances, through this unique constitution of this world, these six common attributes that each of these six substances have, the attribute of existence, astitva, attribute that each and every dravya's existence has its own purpose, the vastutva guna, the fact that not only we all have our purposes, but we also have the power to complete or fulfill our purpose, to do our duties because of Dravyatva Gun, that we'll never, no matter how long we dwell, our existence will never be questioned. It will remain intact. We have Agrula Bhuttva Gun, we have our own shape, we have our own area where we can reside, that's Pradeshatva Gun, and this existence can be perceived by the knower, by the omniscient God, or by anybody who has enough knowledge to perceive us. It's because of Brahmayatva Gun we become perceiver. So these are the six common attributes that every substance, for it to qualify to be a substance, every substance should have these six common attributes. And because of these six common attributes, we drew some conclusions, of which the first conclusion was that there is no need for a separate God who must be the creator of us. Because every dravya, when it is existing on its own because of its astitva gun, we do not need a creator. So we all are eternal. We have no beginning, we'll have no end. That is true for each and every dravya. That is true for matter, that is true for space, time, dharma, adharma, and jeev as well. For us as well, we all are eternal. Second, one dravya can do something, some change in another dravya. Do I have authority to make other dravya change? No, I do not, because every dravya have their own purpose and they have their own capability to fulfill that purpose. Every dravya can do everything that it wants to do. Then there is no need for other dravya to worry about another dravya's modifications. All the modifications of each and every dravya will take shape in their own time. So slowly the seasons will change, autumn will come, spring will come. The plants already know when the leaves are to be shed, when the flowers to bloom. Everybody knows, the clouds know when to bring rains and when to bring snows. The sun knows when it has to go very, very, very hard on us or when the winters will make it go shy away. So nobody commands, everything takes its own time and it happens without anybody's command, without anybody's instruction. So in this whole universe, to think that I can make the other person, other thing, other situation change. I'm in command of somebody who is not me. I'm in command of somebody who is other than me. That's an illusion, and that is the crime that we commit. And hence, we are trapped inside this body. And now we are learning the art to break free from it and become siddha, become free. That's the definition of liberation in the eyes of Jainism. So we learned about these common attributes. Any question from these common attributes? Any question? Anybody? No? Right? Great. So let's move forward. So this brings us, so we talked about the common attributes. But apart from common attribute, these six substances have some special attributes as well that only these six substances have. So common attributes are those which are common to each and every dravya. The special attribute, or we call it Vishesh Guna, it is the guna or attribute that is owned by a particular dravya. So let's try to chart out what should be the special attribute of these substances. Can we do that? It's very easy. So if I say what is the special quality of a jiva, what is the special quality of jiva? Its a special attribute is gyan. It knows, right? So it's conscious. So gyan becomes its special attribute. What is the common attribute of jiva? The common attribute is astitva, vastutva, dravyatva, agrulagutva, prameyatva, pradeshatva. These are the common attributes. So not only Jeev has it, even the Pudgal has it. But what Pudgal does not have and Jeev has is Gyan. So out of these six substances, only Jiva, the knower, knows how to know. The Pudgal does not know how to know. So Gyan and Darshan, these are the special attributes. And because of it, so Sukh means happiness. Only I can be happy. All the material that we have surrounded ourselves with, all this material, it cannot be made happy. You cannot tickle a pillow that you have. You cannot, tell a joke to a wall and it will laugh. It will laugh. It will not, because it does not have gyan. It cannot process, and therefore it does not know what joy is, what sorrow is, right? So the gyan, darshan, sukh, these are the special attributes of whom? Of jiva. No other substance has it. And that's why jiva automatically becomes supreme. It can know everything and feel everything. None of the other substances can feel or know anything. Correct? Sure. So what are the special attributes? Gyan means it's the ability to know. Darshan means ability to perceive. So perception is darshan, and gyan is to know, to actually see in clarity what I have perceived it to be. So Gyan and Darshan both relate to the consciousness that we have, and Sukh is about feeling, what I feel, what I do not. So all the emotions, all the positive feelings, negative feelings, or the feelings of independent happiness, the eternal Sukh, the Anant Sukh, Atindriya Sukh that we talk about. So these are the special attributes of Jiva. Okay, what are the special attribute of Pudgal? So what Pudgal has is the touch, we call it sparsh, taste, that is rasa, and it has some odor, some smell, and it has some color. Okay, so it has some color. So these are the special attribute of Pudgal. Sorry, I wrote a few in Hindi and a few in English, right? I would write everything in Hindi. Sparsh, rasa, smell is gandha, and color is varna. Okay, varna. Sparsh, ras, gandha, varna. These are the special characteristics of Pudgal. Okay, have you seen sky? Have you seen sky? Is it colorful or colorless? What is the color of the sky? Adi, what? You have never seen sky? Yes, Soham, say.
Yes, Mr. Blue.
Sorry?
Blue.
It's blue, right? So is the sky same as the sky that we see, which is blue? Is it the same as Akash, Dravya, or space? Is the sky the Akash? No. Whatever we can see, and it has color, then it automatically becomes Pudgal. And again, why the sky is blue? That's what we all learn in our schools, that no, sky is not blue. It's because of the reflection and everything that we have, the seas and everything, because of which it appears to be so. But still, if you can see the clouds which are white, you can see the black clouds, everything that you can see because it has color. And everything that has color of any sort, like the water is colorless, we generally see. Yeah, can you tell me the color of water? No, right? We can't say what the color water is, but you can see the water despite it being colorless. Can you see it? Yes, we all can see water. It means it is matter. It's Pudgal. Water is water is a Pudgal Dravya. Again, can you see the air? The air, the breeze that flow around? No, right? The breeze, which is sometimes very cold, sometimes it's warm. Can you see it? You cannot see it. But can you feel it? Whether it's cold or hot? Yeah, so it touches you. Whatever touches you, it has sparsh. It becomes Pudgal. Again, can you see the fragrance of a rose, a flower? Can you see the fragrance? But you can feel it, you can smell it. Even that fragrance of the deodorant that we use, or a cologne that we use, it all is Pudgal Dravya. It's all is matter. Okay, so for attributes, and if at all any one of the attribute is found in a substance, whether you can feel it but you cannot see it, still you can feel it, means it has touch, it will automatically qualify to be a Pudgal Dravya. If you can smell it but can't see it, still it is a Pudgal Dravya. If you can taste it, it's a Pudgal Dravya. If you can see it, it's a Pudgal Dravya. So Pudgal Dravya has these four qualities, and if any one of the qualities is visible, it means it has all the remaining three qualities as well. Okay, so the four very important type of Pudgals are, this is very interesting. Uh, have you seen the soil, or we call it earth, the soil? Can you touch the soil? We can touch it. Can you smell it? Does it have some sort of smell? Yes, the soil has a sort of smell. Can you eat it if you want to? Can you put it on your tongue and it will taste? Does it have taste? Never taste it. Does it have? Yes, it can be. It can be tasted, right? So it has a rust as well, and it has a color, right? So earth has all the four attributes. Now let's come to water. Can you touch the water? Yes, we can touch it. Can you smell it? Does water have smell? No. If the water has a smell, then please don't drink it, because it's not a good water. Water does not have smell, but it has color and it can be tasted. So because we drink it. So yes, water has three attributes. Water does not have smell. Okay. Then we have fire. Can you touch fire? I can, but I should not. Can I see it? Yeah, it has color. I can see it. Can I smell it? No, there is no smell to fire. Can I taste it? No, there is no taste to fire as well. So fire has only two attributes which are visible: sparsh and varna. Okay, and then we have air. So can you touch the air? Yes, I can touch the air. But can you see it? No, it has no color. Can you taste it? No, I can't taste it. Can you smell it? No, I cannot smell it. So the air does not have the air has only one attribute. These are the four famous elements that we all are surrounded with: earth, water, fire, and air. And what are their qualities? Earth has all the four qualities which are visible: sparsh, ras, gandh, varn. Water has only three qualities: sparsh, ras, and varna. Fire has only two qualities: sparsh and varna. And air can only be touched. It only has sparsh. But now the catch is, if a particular object has any one of these qualities, it will be deemed that it has all the four attributes. So let's say if I have water and it has only three qualities, right? It has only three qualities. I'll boil it. I'll boil the water. It will become air, water vapor. It will have then again only one quality, that of air, right? The water vapor. But what if I do it in a reverse way? What if that water vapor goes to clouds? It becomes water again, it falls down, it comes to the soil, and then it mingles with the seed, and then that water itself transforms into a plant. Now it has come to back to square one. It has only four qualities as a plant. So I do one thing and with a particular chemical, and then that has a different sort of chemical equation when it meets up with another. And then the outcome, the element after this chemical equation that we get, it's a totally different thing. So one thing, if it's the attribute of Pudgal that the Pudgal can take shape in any form. Like we all have blood in our bodies. Yes, we all have blood in our bodies. Flesh, we have flesh in our bodies, and the bones. So in your lunch, what do you have? Blood, flesh, or bones? Do you drink blood? Do you eat flesh? You take bones? Then how do you get it inside your body? It's the same vegetarian food that gets transformed into blood. Some of it gets transformed into flesh. It's the same thing, but it is transformed. So Pudgal has this unique quality that it can change and take whatever shape that it can. So the metabolism, it will actually burn some of your food. The fire itself is made inside the body. It automatically makes the acids, the chemicals. Everything is being produced by what? By these matter particles. So therefore, Pudgal is very transitory. Today, it might look like it's water. A moments later, it might transform into air. Moments later, it might become oxygen and then produce fire. Moments later, it can be found, as a ash in the soil. So the Pudgal, the one particle can take part and can take part of all the types of Pudgal. Okay, so that's why Pudgal has these four attributes. Each Pudgal particle has these four attributes, no matter how many of you can see. I can only see one quality in that air particle, but it has all the four. Because when it will react with other Pudgals, it will take another shape. Why? How is it taking that shape? Because it has innate quality of all these four things. Spurge, has conferred. So that is the special attribute of Pudgal. Okay? And I think that is the magic that Jain scriptures talk about. Take for the case. Have you heard the name of Sita? Sita, do you know Sita? Ram, Sita, Ramayan, Ravan, Lakshman. Have you heard these names? Jia? Soham? Kirpaji, have you heard like the story of Ram and Sita? Yes or no? Jia? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we all have, right? Soham, you also have, right? So in Jain scripture, there is a very, very unique incident. What happens is when Sita comes back, Ram says that she'll have to give an exam to prove her purity. And that is called Agni Pariksha. In that exam, what will happen is that there would be a huge fire bed that will be made. And on that, the Sita has to sit. And she doesn't, if she survives, means she's pure. Else we know that she's dead. Right? That was the exam. And then Sita willfully appears in that exam. She agrees to give the test. And then what happens? The same fire which was burning around her, the moment she arrives and she sits, the whole fire gets transformed into water. Now, to world, it might seem quite like a magic or some sort of I don't know, matlab, it's not that easily digestible that okay, Does it happen actually? The fire gets transformed into water. But just making it bringing it to perspective, when we see the qualities of Pudgal, water and fire does not they both do not have much difference. It's just the molecular change is there. They all that they require is a change of a bit. They have to just undergo a simple equation, and the water can be transformed into fire. Fire can be transformed into water. The philosopher's stone. So it is philosophically, it is dreamt that okay, there is some sort of a stone. If you touch it to an iron rod, and that iron rod will turn into a gold rod, right? So it looks so mystical that what great magic it would be if I have a philosopher's stone. But in reality, it's not magic. Even if it exists, there is nothing to wonder about. There are all sorts of things happening around us, and they might seem magical at first instance, but we do not have to fall for any sort of magic. Jainism does not agree that any sort of magic exists. This whole world is nothing but a great chemical equation functioning at all times, and things never deter from this great law of universal, the six attributes that we learned about. One dravya is independently functioning on its own, and it can take whatever shape it wants to take, which comes within its own jurisdiction. So Agru Lagutva Gun will permit whatever can transform in a dravya. So Pudgal dravya will never be transformed into a conscious being, but it can transform from water to fire to air to earth to vegetables to bodies to ornaments to elements to iron to gold to diamond to anything. But it will never leave its boundary. It will never become a conscious being. So Pudgal has the liberty to take whatever shape it can take, but it will never cross its border and become a jiva or a space or a kal dravya. Got it? So these are the four attributes of special attributes of Pudgal. Let's come to Dharma Dravya. What is the special attribute the Dharma has? So first, Dharma, nobody can see it, so it's invisible, but invisible is sort of common attribute because soul is invisible, Dharma is invisible, Adharma is invisible, Akash is invisible, and the time cannot be seen by everybody. Only the Pudgal is visible. So Pudgal is called Murtik because it has word, it has color, it can be seen. And all the five dravyas are called Amurtik. They cannot be seen because they do not have color. Okay, so what is the special thing about Dharma Dravya? Dharma Dravya is nothing. It has the special attribute, we call it Gati Hetutva. It induces motion, right? We go from one point to another, all thanks to Dharma Dravya. Just like we discussed about it, right? Adi, you learned how to swim? You've learned? You know how to swim, right? But if I ask you to swim right now and tell us the proof that you know how to swim, can you swim in front of us right now? Why? You know how to swim, right?
Must be water.
No, but who swims, water or you?
Me.
So then swim. So though I know swimming, the swimming cannot happen without the medium which is the medium of swimming. So just like the swimming cannot happen without its medium, similarly, going from one point to another requires a medium. Without that medium, even this movement is not possible. What is that medium? That medium in Jain philosophy is called medium of motion or Dharma Dravya. So what is special about Dharma Dravya? That it has the special attribute of Gati Hetutva, that whenever somebody walks, the Dharma Dravya will always help it or will be the nimitta of anybody's motion. Okay, so Gati Hetutva is the special attribute of Dharma Dravya, and opposite of Gati Hetutva is Sthiti Hetutva. Sthiti Hetutva is the special attribute of Dharma Dravya. It helps us to in resting. If I want to take rest, I can stop moving around and I'll stop in the space that I want to take rest in. So that who will help me in that time is the theater. It's just like the car. You have a car, you have one brake button, the brake, what do we call it? The pedal. So there is one brake pedal and there is one accelerator pedal. So when you want to move, you do not press brake, you take the help of accelerator. When you want to rest, you do not push the accelerator, you push the brake button, the brake pedal, right? So these both need to be very different. What if there is a car which has the accelerator and brake as the same pedal? Now, I don't know how will that function. I really don't know. Same. Therefore, in Jain philosophy, there are two different. So Dharma Dravya is the accelerator. It helps us move, and Adharma Dravya is the brake. It helps us in stopping. So Adharma Dravya has sthiti, means the rest, to halt. So Adharma Dravya helps us in sthiti hetutva, is the special attribute that Adharma Dravya has. What does Akash do? It's very simple. Akash gives us space, right? So space is called Avgahan. We all occupy space. Avgahan. Avgahan hetutva. Akash Dravya's special attribute is Avgahan hetutva. It helps us in occupying space. We all live freely. So because of Pradeshatva Gun, I have my own shape, and Akash lets me carry that shape wherever I want to carry it. That's Avgahana, Avgahan hetutva. And what does Kal do? It helps me in transforming. So we call it Parinaman hetutva. Because of Kal, I can do my work. I can change continuously. So the special attribute of Kal is Parinaman hetutva. These are the 6 special attributes. So far, we have learned about the 6 dravyas, their common attributes, and now their special attributes as well. Okay, I hope you all have noted down these names of these special attributes of these 6 substances. Yes. So now it brings us to the chapter that we have, the chapter which is very, very, very important while we try to discuss about Jainism. And that chapter is called the chapter of Dravya Gun Paryay. It's very simple, very straightforward. It will not take more than 5 minutes for us to make our understanding. So what we are seeing now, we are making a model to this whole world. Okay, so we have dravyas. So dravya is the substance. Dravya is the owner. Okay, what does this owner have? What are the possessions of this owner? The possession are its attributes. So every dravya is nothing but the collection of its attributes. Attributes are of 2 types: the common attributes that every dravya has, and the specific special attributes that only a specific dravya has. So the Gyan is my special attribute and Astitva is my common attribute. So I can brag about my Gyan, but not my Astitva, right? So Astitva is not my speciality. Astitva is common to us all, but Gyan is very unique to me. The Pudgal does not have it. So that's called special. So Dravya is nothing but the collection of all the attributes. A group of attributes which dwell together is called Dravya. And what do attributes do? Attributes have their function, they fulfill their duties, they work. So what the work of attributes is called? The work of attributes is called Paryay. Paryay means the work, the modes, the different things that a dravya does. So that's called Paryay. So this is the basic structure of how things happen according to Jain philosophy. We have one dravya, which is the owner. That dravya has different qualities. We call them guna, and all those qualities do their function, do their work, and that work is called Paryay. So what we see is a dravya that is constantly doing its Paryay. And what are those paryas? The paryas are just the advertisement of what kind of qualities it has. So the paryas with their work show that, okay, this dravya can do this. So if I know, my knowing is paryay, but that knowing is indicating that I have knowledge, I have gyan gun, I am a sentient being. And because I am a knowing being, I am a sentient being. Who is the sentient being called? What do we call a sentient being? Jiva. Jiva's special attribute is to know. So I am the Jeev Dravya. So how will it work? You can see my work. Paryay is visible. Paryay will take me to the quality that I have. And the quality will define what kind of Dravya I am. Right? Find it simple, it's very simple. So we have Dravya. The Dravya has attributes. The attributes do their function. They do their paryay. Okay, it's simple. Fine. It's the most important, most fundamental concept of Jainism. To get it right is the most important thing while learning about Jainism. Jainism is nothing but the extension of the concept of Dravya Paryay. Right? How? That is what we're going to see quickly. So now, quickly, let's take the example of what? Let's take the example of sugar. Have you seen sugar? Sugar, right? Sugar. Okay. Can you tell me what Dravya sugar is? Let's try to decode. Sugar is what Dravya? Girl, how do you know?
Because you can taste it and smell it and see it.
Yeah, I can taste it, I can smell it. So it has the attributes or of touch, taste, smell, and color. Correct? Okay, fine. Now, but if I say even the salt is Pudgal, so why you're not calling sugar a salt? Is this sugar and the salt same thing? No, how are they different? Yes, Soham?
Is it because they have different like taste?
Okay, so the taste is the difference now. Though they have the same color, the touch is also similar. The weight is also kind of same. But what actually creates difference is the taste. There is a very stark difference in their taste, the taste of salt and taste of sugar. Correct? So let's say the sugar is sweet in taste. Correct? Yes. So now, what part of sugar is sweet? The outer part of sugar, the inner part of sugar cube. What part of, like, sugar is sweet from where? Yes, Adi?
Its attributes,
Sorry?
its personalities or attributes.
I didn't get you. In its what?
Its personalities or attributes, the things.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the sugar is sweet, but what part of sugar is sweet? If I bring banana from the market, the outer layer of banana, the peel of the banana is not sweet. The banana is sweet, right? When I peel off the peel of the banana and then I eat that core, that is sweet, right? Similarly, when I eat sugar, the sugar is sweet from where? From outside, from inside, from the core, from where the sugar is sweet. Sorry?
All of it.
All of it? All of it? Okay, what if you get a sugar which is sweet only from the inside and not from the outside? What will you do? There is the outer layer which is not sweet and the inner layer which is sweet. What will you do? I'm asking simple, stupid questions. Sorry, but please bear with me. What will you do? Kirpaji, what will you do?
I would assume then that part isn't sugar.
Oh, okay, okay. So the part which is not sweet is not sugar. You're claiming that.
Yeah, because it doesn't fit its quality.
Oh, it's nice, nice. Obviously, what is not sweet, we'll be very hesitant in calling it sugar, right? Something that doesn't taste sweet, will you call it sugar? No, I will not, because that is not fulfilling the job of sugar, what job the sugar has. So the first rule about any attribute is that attribute should be all pervasive in that substance. Sugar should be sweet from inside out, everywhere. That part which is not sweet will not qualify to be called sugar. Similarly, the soul should have knowledge in its entirety. So if you touch my finger, if you touch my neck, if you touch my toe, I will have sensation. I'll feel something. It means I am this whole bunch of consciousness. I have knowledge, and I have knowledge from each and every part of my soul. I am sentient from each and every pradesh that I have. Adravya, the first quality of Dravya's attribute is, we are now trying to narrow down the definition of attribute. I know what Dravya is. Dravya is nothing but the collection of attributes. Dravya is a place where all attributes, all qualities stay. Okay? And because of Agrulupatvagon, they cannot be separated. They're going to stay there forever. Now, but how do we define an attribute? So the attribute's first quality is that the attribute should, if it is attribute, if sweetness is the attribute of sugar, then the sugar should be sweet, or the sweetness should be present in all of sugar. The part in which the sugar will not be sweet, we'll peel off that part, will not use it while I'll be using the sugar. Why will I be doing that? See, where you do not have consciousness, and when you find it not useful, you cut it out, you cut your nails, you cut your hair when you feel like. Why? Because it doesn't, anybody who cuts their fingers, like yearly basis, they are also growing, right? Yeah. In our body, there are many things that are growing, in growing years, but we only choose to cut our nails and hair. Why this? Why? Because anything which is not me, which is in excess, which does not contain my own attribute, and if it starts creating trouble, I do not mind getting rid of it. But even if my fingers are not really looking good and they're growing to be a bit, here and there, I'll think 1,000 times before deciding to cut them off. I'll not do that. Right? Because I know here is my consciousness which resides. Correct? So attribute is where the attribute should be such that it is spread over all of the substance. Okay, fine. So now let's take an instance. So I have sugar in a box in the kitchen, and today is Sunday, obviously. And I went to the kitchen and I wanted to make some lemonade to drink, or sweet lemonade. And then I took sugar out of that box, I stirred it in the water, added some lemon, worried whether this lemonade will be sweet or not. Why I'm worried? Because it's Sunday. What if the sugar is on a holiday? What if it doesn't sweeten the lemonade? Does it happen when the sugar is sweet? During the night, during the day, on Wednesdays, Sundays, Thursdays, Fridays? When? Spring, autumn, winter, summer. When should you taste the sugar? What is the good time to taste the sugar so that it tastes sweet? What is the good time?
It should be sweet all the time.
All the time. Can it not take some leave of its work? Why does it have to constantly be sweet? Do we always be nice to everybody all the time?
It has a
Stuff,
permanent
right?
quality.
Sorry, yes, Soha? What?
Yeah, it has a permanent quality. So
No. See, having quality is different. I have a quality that I be nice to everybody. But then I can decide, no, when to be nice, when not to be nice. And the sugar has the quality to sweeten things. But what if it says, okay, I'm not in a good mood today, I'm not going to sweeten your milk today? Can it do something like that? Can it choose whether to be sweet or not to be sweet? Can it choose? Such is the compulsion of an attribute. The attribute does not only have to be all pervasive, spread all over in its owner substance, but also it should be present at all times in the substance. Whenever that substance will be contacted, that substance will always be found with that attribute. If that attribute is not present in that substance, it means that attribute does not existed, did not ever exist in that substance. Just like that. See, are you feeling angry right now? Soham, are you feeling angry right now?
no,
Yes or no?
no,
No, but have you ever felt angry about something in your life?
yeah,
Yeah, but you're right now not angry, right? It means you do not have a quality of anger inside you. Had it been an attribute, no matter it was a Sunday, Monday, day, night, whatever time was it, you'll always be angry. But can you remember or recall a time when you were not knowing? You were not feeling anything. No, when I was sleeping, I was knowing. I was watching a dream or I was having a sound sleep. I was always aware of what was happening around me. So knowledge, gyan is my attribute because first thing that I can feel it all in all parts of me, in all of the pradeshas that I have. And also I'm always knowing. I can't stop knowing, just like the sugar cannot decide when to stop being sweet. The sugar has no quality, no authority over to stop. And though I am the owner of my knowledge, I am the owner of my gyan, but isn't it it's so strange. I cannot control, I do not have any button to stop knowing, oh please do not, brain stop working. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. We can't do it. So stupid, right? I am Anubhav. I am the owner of this self, and I cannot stop knowing. I cannot stop myself from knowing. We can't do it. I can stop crying. I can stop laughing. I can stop missing. I can stop bragging. I can stop feeling pride or good or right, whatever. But this continuous race towards knowing, being conscious, I do not have any authority over it. So the attribute is such, you despite not trying to do it, though you do not want to do it, but it keeps on happening. So attribute is something which is found in all the parts of a dravya and at all times of that dravya. So from the space dimension as well and the time dimension as well, in that particular dravya, the attribute would be the thing, the quality, which will always be present in a substance in all its part. That is called attribute. Okay. Yes, Kirpa, you have a question.
Hi. Sugar, when you overheat it, it becomes maybe a bit bitter. Or the banana, where you mentioned that the skin itself is not going to be sweet, but the banana is going to be sweet. So in that instance, throughout the whole dravya, the sweetness is not always, or depending on the paryay, the sweetness is not always there.
Exactly.
So,
that's why I brought that salt as well. So we are just trying to understand about how dravyas function. Actually, sugar, salt, chilies, whatever things matter we talk about, the matter does not have a constant form. The sugar will get converted to my blood, to glucose, to flesh the moment I eat it, right? So these are not eternal substances, but to understand, to make our understanding about these substances, the sugar as we know it in concept. So whatever will be sweet, we'll name it sugar. In our world, what will be called sugar? Anything that is sweet, which we use in sweetening our teas, milk, or all the shakes, right? So Pudgal is only one dravya which can take infinite forms. The same Pudgal can be earth, water, fire, air, sugar, bitter, whatever it can be, right? We are, for the time being, are trying to learn about how dravyas, gunas, and paryas function. So in this world, whenever I'll be talking about sugar, I'll always be thinking about a substance which is sweet, right? So its sweetness is kind of eternal in my mind, not in that substance, because the moment I eat it, that substance gets finished. It transforms into the the different chemicals or the fluids that body carries, right? But we're trying to understand about the conceptually what dravyas attributes are, right? So the examples are to be only taken partially. Sugar is not a substance. It is in itself is a spatial paryaya of Pudgal, a spatial form of Pudgal. Pudgal is the substance. But we are trying to make our understandings about Dravya and Paryaya. So we are taking the example of sugar. Okay. So now my second question, very interesting question is this. So if I have an attribute, okay, do I require consciousness to make my attribute function? Is the knowledge required to execute your quality? Is the see the the sugar is sweet. Does it know it is sweet? Yet it executes its sweetness so well, right? It means to be able to do your job perfectly, you do not need to be a conscious being. You only need to have an attribute, and that attribute will do everything for you perfectly. Yes, because out of six substances, only Jeev has consciousness. And out of all these six substances, five substances work perfectly well. The mess up is created by this alone Jeev Dravya, which is conscious. So as it turns out, consciousness is not a virtue, but it is working against, because I'm over smart. I'm always trying to make things work in my own way. But that's not how world works. The world works in a fashion that everything has their own qualities. And those qualities, nobody has told the diamond to glitter, the gold to shine. Nobody has taught it. It has that attribute and it just does the duty perfectly well. Correct? So having an attribute and thinking that, okay, I'll have to consciously do it, is not how it's not how it works. Everything does its own work in its own great ways. So attribute has two definitions. First, the first definition is that it should be present in all of the substance, and it will always do its work. You'll find it always in that substance. And how will you find it? By its paryaya, by its work, that it will always be saying that, okay, I'm sweet, I'm bitter, I'm knowing, I'm the knower. So all these dravya gun paryaya constitute and they make this world a functioning world. Okay, any question about the attribute part? So see, the raga or the attachment, the dvesha, the hatred, these are not the attributes of soul. Why? Because they are not always there in the soul. They are the visiting thoughts. They keep on coming and going, coming and going. So I have flood of emotions that visit me, and then I feel dry after they go out, right? It's constantly changing, right? So what Jainism says is, what is not your attribute should not worry you. Better would be to concentrate on what stays, and what stays is the knowledge, is the gyan. Why don't you become a mirror and let everything come in front of you and just reflect it as it is? Do not try to think about whether it is looking beautiful or ugly. Do not differentiate. The mirror does not differentiate between the faces that it reflects. Does the mirror tell you, okay, go have a face wash? No, it just tells you that how you look. And then it leaves it up to you that whether you like it this way or another way. Similarly, we should be. We should see the world as it is, as it is. Whatever happens, let it happen. Accept everything. Do not ever think of changing anything around. The aim is to be happy, to be contented, and that can only come when we have peace both from the outside as well as within. The inner peace as well the peace outward can be achieved only by understanding the Dravya Gun Paryaya. So there is this very special sutra which we have already learned. Utpad Vyaya Dravya Yuktam Sat. What does it say? Utpad is the rise, Vyaya is the death, and Dravya is being constant. Every substance undergoes these three functions. So can you quickly help me and we'll conclude this session? If we have to derive in Dravya Gun and Paryay, and we have to attribute these three functions, Utpad is the rise of a new Paryay, Vyaya is the death, and Dravya. So let's say Dravya will have Utpad, Vyaya, or Dravya. We have three things. Dravya Gun Paryay, can we allocate Utpad, Vyaya, and Dravya to these three things? Dravya would be constant, or it will be taking new birth, or it will be dying. Dravya will have Utpad, or it will have Vyaya, or it will remain constant. The Dravya, you understand what Dravya is, right? So Dravya, does the Dravya take birth or it does not? Does the birth die or it does not? It does not. So it becomes Dravya. Dravya is always constant. Dravya is constant. What about attribute? Do the attributes also change? If a Dravya has attribute of knowledge, will it ever change to attribute of sparsh? No. So even the attributes are constant. Dravya is Dravya, attribute is Dravya. Fine? Correct? Now let's talk about Paryay. What is it about Paryay? The Paryay is constantly changing. So new Paryay takes birth every moment and the old Paryay dies. So Utpad and Vyay is the Dharma of Paryay, and it constantly happens, which indicates towards the constantness of a Dravya. So that's how the life is always going to function. The sugar will always have its paryay happening, its qualities will remain intact, and we'll always know sugar to be sweet. Similarly, Gyan will always keep on happening. We will always know, but knowing a lot will not result in a decaying. We'll always remain Jiva. We'll keep on changing forms, but we'll always remain the same. Okay, fine. Understood? Any questions, any doubt? No? So this was very briefly about the dravyas, their attributes, and the work of the attributes. So dravya, gun, and paryay. 6 substances, 6 common attributes, and then their special attributes. This much is a huge, very important topic of Jainism that we have covered so far. If you have any questions, any doubt, think about it. We'll discuss about it in the next class, and then we'll start with the uh, with how the whole problem starts, and then we'll come to the karmas. Okay. Okay. We'll quickly have Chinmani study. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए चिन्हवाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार 9 times from Mukar Mantra. Jain Dharmano Jai Ho. Thank you. Jai Jain.
Thank you, Jai Jain.